Hey everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to American Truck Simulator. So you may notice music is off. I've run into some problems with Lawnmower Simulator, and I just don't want to run into problems with anything anymore. And as you might imagine, Lawnmower Simulator is not a musical sim in any way. But somehow I got flagged for using music, and so I'm like, all right, I'll just turn everything off so everything will be just deathly quiet. We're not going to have anything in the background, and I'm trying to just do that with everything. So you'll notice that probably across everything as the channel goes forward, unless I can't turn it off, but it did let me do that here, so I have done so. All right, we're here in Elko, and yes, instead of having two as we did in Winnemucca, we've got plenty more. So, of course, a lot of them go right back to Winnemucca and then Twin Falls. All right, so I think I'm going to take one that's a little bit longer here. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take this one down to Cedar City. There's not really any towns in Utah I haven't been to, but again, I'm trying to kind of stay a little bit, like I said in the last episode, I wanted to go a little bit southeast. I could have gotten to Salt Lake City, and I was debating doing that, because obviously there would be a lot of options out of there, but the issue was it was from this location, which A is going to make it challenging to pick up from, almost guaranteed, and it was to the same company, which means I'm likely going to also then just be hauling another backhoe or something, which is going to limit where we get to, where pallets obviously can go everywhere. And the other thing I know, we passed a Siva on the way in here because we'd been to that location before, so we'll be able to basically grab this on the way out and then go on our way. It does give us a long run, so it's a little bit longer than we normally do, but we'll see what we can do. All right. So I know we just need to get out of here, because otherwise, yeah, we probably would have had to go pick it up, because it was the telehandler loader thing that is now... I'm trying to look at... Alright, let me just stop moving. Yeah, it's kind of what's on that trailer now, but I'm wondering, since I hadn't picked it up, if it was like, okay, you're, wait, where do I go? I think I'm dragging on the wall. Yeah, these are not the best or easiest places to pick up from, I'll tell you that. They're definitely a challenge. Alright, so we'll get out of here, and like I said, you can see the pickup point down there. We'll grab the pallets and we will move on. But yeah, if nothing else, it'll get us closer. And then there's a possibility we'll discover the other town there in Nevada as we go through. So that could be helpful in the future potentially as well. So that was part of the reasons I was looking like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this. And the last haul was short as well, so this kind of evens things out. We'll have a little bit longer episode and after a little bit shorter one. So, but I don't think we're going to get ourselves out of the desert, because I think anything in Utah, especially southern Utah like that, is still going to be pretty crazy. So, actually, I'm not even sure that I'm in Utah. This might be Nevada. I don't know. I don't remember.
Turn left.
Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Alright. And we had been here before, clearly, because you can see that the pickup location is already discovered. So let's see. Am I seeing it anywhere? Yep, right there. So we'll just kind of turn around, go around, and then come in and back in there. But again, it's going to be my favorite, the blindside version there. So we'll see how screwed up we can make it. wow, I did it the right way, but part of that is I was just doing stuff. Like I do record multiple episodes at a time sometimes, and given how short the other one was, oh, I'm looking incorrectly in my mirror. So let's see, question is, can I get by there, or am I gonna hit? I'm probably, maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, maybe not. Let me just look. Oh, we're underneath. That's marvelous. All right. Can't take me anywhere. Can't take me anywhere. So blind sides, and again, I think I'm beginning to wonder if, like with a dry van, if the blind side is easier. If it's the fact that you totally lose sight of everything with these, that is the problem. But all right, so now I think, but again, we can't. All right, I am in the right vicinity, so yes, we'll keep going strong here. It's just, am I too close to that where I'm gonna hit it? But am I turning in? Alright, so yeah, I kind of almost need to now cut really sharp the other way and almost stop going over. So, we'll see. I felt the bump, so I was too far back, so that was not good. So we're going to want to, let's see if I go the right way. Oh my god, I did. So yeah, I thought I was too, now I do feel I'm too far over, so let me do that, because yeah, I need to now cut the other way. We're gonna hit the dock again. I think I'm against the wall. I am. We're gonna do this a really bad way, but we're gonna force it. So I'm gonna turn the engine off, and we're gonna get loaded with the pallets. Again, we'll probably rest on the way out because it's getting dark, but we've got pallets. So we'll reset, and we'll get out of here. We can go a little bit, so we can probably wait for a further rest area rather than stay in town here. But I know we need to go that way, so we will do that.
Get ready to turn right.
All right.
Turn right.
So nobody there. Oh, I do have someone coming, but I do need to swing out a bit, so otherwise we're going to clip those cars in the parking lot, which would be bad. So we really aren't. No, okay, we're just going left.
Get ready to turn left.
Which I guess makes sense.
Turn left.
Because we want to go east. Alright. So, get ourselves down. Right aid. Wow, we only only got up to 40 down that big hill. I thought, like, that'll let me go. Of course, then we'd be like a Tesla. 0 to 60 in like 200 feet. So yeah, I mean, I know we're heavy and it will pull us down a bit, but yeah, that would have been a bit much if we're being honest. But yeah, we should be able to find some rest areas here. I mean, this is I-80, so I know we're going to turn off of I-80 not too far away, so I was having all kinds of craziness with the rumble strips right off the edge, like as soon as you touch the line. So hopefully that won't continue. Probably will, because I didn't even exit out between runs here. Not sure if I'll do another one after this. I'm thinking not. 2 ends up usually kind of being enough, because then it starts to feel like, oh, I've been in the truck a long time, because sometimes they're, 45 minutes a piece. That's like an hour and a half. Alright, we don't have to pull in, we can bypass. So that is lovely. I was going to say, I don't see any rest spots, because otherwise I might have still pulled in. Alright. I don't know why that thing's not going away. Finally. It was like way past it. That's odd. I almost remember it going away before we went in, but I mean, maybe not entirely, because obviously it's still giving you the signal to let you know, but yeah, it was kind of nuts that we had to go that far past it. Okay, going uphill. Now we are heading toward the mountains, but this won't get us to the mountains. So now I'm pretty sure we're across the state line. Not yet, we're definitely in Utah that we'll be driving to, so get out of Nevada here. The Great
Keep
Basin
right,
Highway.
and then exit right.
Alright, well, there's a gas station, but the rest
Exit
thing's in the
right.
wrong direction. And again, I'm not even yawning yet, but it's just more like I don't need to drive in the dark.
Turn right.
So if I can drive during the day, I just prefer to do that because it lets you see more of the scenery. But so we'll keep going because there are rest areas along these roads. But yeah, now we're basically on this kind of a road all the way down, I think, for the next 200 or 320 miles. And it should get to 60 once we get outside of town completely. But yeah, definitely going to be a lot of curving. Oh, it goes all the way to 70, which makes sense out here in the desert. And again, I guess you won't miss much in the dark in the desert, but yeah, if I can get going at full speed, which we are, then we obviously, A, get there quicker for you, and we also get to a rest spot sooner, cover more ground. So, yeah, that big rock by the road, but that would be hard to move, I would think, so sure to some degree these things just are there because that's where they were, and they're like, we're not going to dynamite them, we're not going to dig them out and try to move them because it's going to cost us thousands of dollars or more, and if someone runs into it, I guess it's on them, is I'm sure a little bit of what the thinking is. Alright, we got a truck ahead of us. So, a little bit up and down, up and down. If you've ever driven on any roads, anywhere, that undulating road over the hills, pretty common. Alright, you see a blue sign. Truck parking 1 mile, but, oh, there it is. Okay, that's 1 mile. We'll go with it, but yeah, we're gonna rest now. So this will work out well. And again, I don't know when the next one is, and it is getting dark enough that that makes sense. So we'll pull off, we'll rest. All right. So turn off the engine. See you in the morning. All right. Yes, I had my turn signal on. Truck was off. Speaking of cars, since I made that Freudian slip, the road trip thing will be coming at some point, so we'll see what that brings. Definitely I'll take a peek at it, but I don't know that it's going to be something that's compelling enough, because if I'm driving anyway, I don't know that I'd want to be driving just in a car. Or maybe we just start calling it Road Trip Simulator and just do it that way. Oh, if we could be up to speed before we hit that hill, but I don't think that's possible. I'm not even sure we're going to hit 55. We got a little bit of a downhill there, but yeah, now it's switched gears, and of course now we're going uphill. So it's just going to slow us down even more. And you know what'll happen, like right over the next hill there'll be another rest area. It'll be like, oh, I could have gone that far. But we'll definitely get there today. But the nice thing with World of Trucks jobs, as I've said over and over, let's, I guess, be ready in case there's suddenly a train. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I probably should have slowed down. I didn't think of that. I figured it would just be a nice level grade crossing. Oh, one of those really fast jets. I'm sure there is a military base around here somewhere. But, yeah, so I know I was talking about the road trip thing, but I'm not quite sure where I was getting at, but it's, it's good use of the assets for them, and at least it brings something different. People have been responding to it pretty well. Now, I say that without really having gone back and looked at additional comments, but the initial 50 comments or so, it's not like I had why'd you spend time on this instead of building a new graphics engine, like the grumblers always come out with. So I'm fine with them doing that. Again, I would love for them to introduce LTL and get less than truckload routes in here and let us pick up at multiple spots, drop off at multiple spots, and really turn it into something. Because that would be kind of fun. Alright. So Las Vegas is a long way away. No rest stop here, just gas. But we've still got a quarter of a tank. Oh, he's passing? Alright. We'll follow you around, I guess. We're going to try anyway. Of course, you made me slow down enough. Now I'm not going to get past this goof. Now I'm just going to go past you too, since you're slowing down as you merge. What is wrong with you? Of course, there's going to be somebody coming over the hill. You know that'll happen. Okay. I mean, it did still have a passing lane, so in theory we could see, but it was really hard, like the pillar was in the way. Old abandoned motel. More spot for the motel. I don't know that the motel's really there. It was a diner. And it looks like that was always a diner, not like they converted the hotel to a diner or something, but so, hope you've been enjoying the Tower Companion on the channel. I know I've had a lot of content with that recently. because I've been enjoying it. I really am happy that I got introduced to that. It really does change the dynamics of Tower Simulator. And I finally feel like I'm potentially using more of the airports that I got, because otherwise I was like, well, I've got those series going, let's just do that. And this just now lets me hop around a little bit. Not that I couldn't have just turned that into a series and said, all right, we've kind of done a good enough thing with the day in the life. We'll finish them up eventually, but we'll start doing other things. But as I've said, when I've talked about that, it just means the day in the life ones are going to sit and stagnate, which is, I guess, kind of what's happening anyway. But I'm doing so much with Tower Companion that I'm sometimes doing 2, 3, 4 sessions in a row, which then obviously turn into 2, 3, 4 episodes, which then gets spread around amongst everything else that's available on the channel. So, we might have things out for a month pretty soon before we know it. Let's not be too close to those people. Luckily, he wasn't quite there yet. That could have... I saw him coming, so I wouldn't have cut over if I didn't think I could have made it safely. Of course, sometimes I think I can make it safely, and then I can't. So there is a town along the way that I think we're going to discover. I could be really wrong. These sharper turns are not helping me any. I really don't want to slow down, because it takes so long to gain momentum again. But, taking a 45-degree curve as fast as we're going, I don't know. I better at least slow down a tiny bit here. This is 35, so this is probably a really big bump. Alright, not bad. But I was nearly going 35, so that would be why. But yeah, I don't want to destroy my truck. So do we have a forced turn here? Nope, I think we just have a intersection. But yeah, this is, I think, Eli or whatever. Or Ellie, I don't know. Don't know how they say this town.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Oh, we're actually turning here. Well, we're turning up there. So, if I knew that, then I would have known we would have discovered this town, but it just kind of looked like we were going to discover it. But now we'll just wait for these guys to go. Safeway? It does say Safeway. And then it's not Kroger. I don't know what they... Oh, there's a Kit Kat. They must look like peanut butter cups, but then it almost looked like Kit Kat or Circle K. I don't know. I don't know what company that truck was. Nobody else is coming. Turn the light. Thank you. Starting to go. Fire engine up there I saw cross over the intersection. I was kind of timing it. I'm like, it's going to turn green soon. I can start rolling along. Alright, so we should be out of town relatively quickly. Again, I assume we'll be able to speed up. But we're at 188 miles, so not quite halfway. But I know, I'm pretty sure we're going to turn to the right pretty sharply and then start heading down again in a little bit. Thought it was like a helicopter coming out somewhere over the ridge, but obviously it's a bus. So, well, only going 50, which is honestly probably good, given that we've got this S-curve through the valley here. I guess I better cover my brake in case I need to back off. Right now that's blind though, and it's continuing, so I better slow down. Last thing I want to do is crash. That would be really awful. because that would extend things so much more and cause so much damage and expense. Alright, so we've finally gotten to the next rest area, so it is good I rested when I did, because I do not think I would have made it this far. So I'm thinking we turn right at this intersection. Again, obviously we've been through here.
Keep right, and then turn right.
So there you go.
Turn right.
Alright. Swing a little wide. And I'm not sure where I came from here or where I was going to. Oh, Pioche. Pretty sure I was going to Pioche. And again, I've been to the town we're going to, so I could have just been coming from there. Alright, now we're at 220, so now we have maybe 150, 160 miles to go. All I was doing was scratching my chin. I did not turn my head, but that's what it created. So I guess however it does your facial recognition, it feels like I turn my head when I'm scratching my chin. But yeah, I started the episode debating, will I do another one after? I will not. I can tell I'm getting to that fatigue point of, it's good enough for now. This is the same thing like when I did those 3 or 4 hour cross-country sessions, and I would usually do them just in one sitting. Like sometimes your mind just gets numb. I mean, it's just like driving for any length of time. You know, that's the thing. I don't know what this really does in your head. Like, does it feel like you're traversing all these virtual miles? Even though it's, 1/20th or 20 to 1 is the scale. Alright, so there's BHP. And there's Pioche. And we'll basically see on the other side of Pioche, does it continue? It appears to right now. So just trying to, again, avoid a problem. But if we stay...
Right.
I'm not going to turn right because I know we're just going by. And that way we're not slowing down. So I know it's technically shorter,
right.
But it doesn't make any sense because we're just passing by here.
Finding a new route.
And again, maybe it adds a mile or two, but it'll save a lot more time because we didn't have to slow down trying to stay clear of that wall. Alright, of course now we've slowed down enough because that truck slowed down. And now we're playing catch up. Alright, they're turning right. Just make sure they're not turning right. But yeah, we're not going to Vegas. I don't know that we're going to Panaca either. Alright, big sweeping turn. And obviously, as we get closer to the mountains, it's going to get more hilly. But we were, for the most part, going due south, I think. But yeah, really, 350 is kind of going to be the milestone where we know we're close. We could be seeing the drop point at any moment. But yeah, I'll tell you, it's been a couple years since I've done those cross-country, those 3,000-mile runs that I did at this... Oh boy. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, thank goodness. Good timing. I'm like, oh no. But it worked out. Alright, so we got a little road work.
Get ready to turn left.
Okay, so we'll get fuel, and then we'll turn left. So it'll all work out.
Turn left.
Try to cut over here, because we gotta be able to get through these. Alright, let's spend some money. Again, in this series, not a big problem. I mean, we've got hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's not like fuel is jacked up or anything, so. Alright. I could probably, well, I'm not far enough, I guess, honestly, to upgrade the truck. Okay. I knew nobody was coming the other way. Okay, it's a school crossing. And we've been through here, as you can see. I guess we won't rush, because we could get a ticket. And again, I'm trying not to get a ticket for 2 weeks in game, which I've never been able to do. But some of that is because, yes, I get impatient, and I'm like, yeah, the 55's coming right up, I'm just going to go, and then I get caught in the zone in town. Alright, Cedar City is where we're going. 74 miles, so about 364. Oh, and now we're doing a really slow 35 mile an hour. Right now this feels okay. Got some vultures up there, probably from truck drivers who didn't obey the speed limit through here. I mean, 45 isn't too bad, so if I can get through one more turn. Although we're up to 48, yeah, and this doesn't have a speed on it, so I'm thinking I'm okay. Thinking we made it. So, another rest area, I'm imagining. Oh no, welcome to Utah, finally. But it's letting us go to 65. So that should bode well for us being able to, you know, turn and everything, regardless of what speed we get to, because we can't exceed 65. It said 30, I think, but maybe it's because we got a fit on here. Alright, hopefully, I think that's a police officer. Yep, but hopefully they stop and don't try to merge ahead of me. That was my concern. I think it said 45. But we're at speed again. Alright, no speed. Oop, somebody broken down. This is not the place you want to break down. I think we had a flat tire when I was a kid when we were in Arizona. I just remember my brother and I were sitting like in the van, and again, I mean, this was like in the 80s, so, you know, not the most efficient air conditioning, not that they've gotten like so much better, but they are better than what now amounts to 45 years ago, almost 50 in some cases, but yeah, I think my brother and I were just sitting in our little underwear and just sweating like crazy anyway before we stopped. And then when we stopped, I think it was just like, oh my god. So I can only imagine how my dad felt and whatever. But and I may be remembering it completely wrong, but I think we did have a breakdown of some sort, and the logical reason would have been a tire, because I think I would have remembered if we had something like that we had to stay an extra day or two for them to repair or something. I think basically, you know, he had to change the tire, and then I think he did stop and have some guy patch it at a shop or something, but alright, so getting close. Got fences things that usually don't happen until you're getting closer to town. I mean, you'll have the barbed wire fences, but we wouldn't be able to see those. So yeah, I think the adaptive cruise control is adjusting here for me. And I'd say this is town, because we'll be at 360 before we know it. And the question is, do we go right or left? I think we go right, because I think there was like a sharp bend at the end.
Right. And then turn right.
Yep, so I am correct. Given that it's flashing, I'm guessing the light is red. Oh, now it just turned green.
Turn right.
Colson Freight. Alright, let's get through here. Thank goodness. I didn't want to say anything ahead of time, but I'm like, we've crossed a lot of train tracks and we haven't gotten stopped on this run, which is awesome. I don't need that. I am ready to deliver. I want my measly $6,000. I think we got like $22,000 for delivering that backhoe in the previous episode, and I think it was half the distance. It was less than half the distance, because it was barely 100 miles. And this is, high 300s, obviously. We're at 363 already. We're getting a little bit of grass, though, and you can start to see the mountains, so getting closer to some more fertile landscapes. I think they're all stopped, yep. So we better slow down. An IHOP. It's like an IHOP in a Denny's. Got the yellow roof. It's not really a Denny's roof. Then it looks like an In-N-Out burger up there, which could be here, in this part of the country. They probably go over to Utah. Why not? Just a couple states over. But just under the highway, and then we deliver to somewhere that honestly it looks like we've been to before. Alright, there we go. I'm guessing there's still lights by the highway, so, although no, it looks like maybe they're roundabouts. Oh no, they are those go angle over to the other side type of things, so there's a truck next to me. This is not good.
Get ready to turn right.
Because you kind of need to go here.
Turn right.
We are stuck here, though. Oh well. Hey, that's the same company we'll be moving with. That's funny. We are using United. We're not using McAllister's, but because yeah, they're partners is what they call them, but basically they're local haulers, but they're United
left.
Licensed.
And then turn left. Turn
So
left.
yeah, we'll be in one of those. Not full though. We're not taking that much because it's just my wife and I, so we're not moving a whole house for the first time since I've ever moved. But yeah, that's funny. I mean, I knew they were in the... Why am I going slow? I have an arrow. I'm like waiting for him to turn. I can do that, but... Oh, well, clearly I'm not the only one delivering pallets here.
Turn right.
There are pallets galore. Alright, turn right. And let's see.
Turn left.
How challenging are they going to make this delivery? We're
You have
behind
arrived
the
at your
building.
destination.
Kuhn Nagel is how I would say it. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but that is how I would say it. Ooh. It'd be nice to take a job. I'd like a double. I haven't had a double. I don't know that I've ever done a triple either. Well, I guess, never mind. What am I talking about? I've got my own trailer. I'm not taking any of these. Because, yeah, in Euro Truck, I do I still can't afford anything, so let's see, which way am I? I think I'm going this way. I mean, I am having to look at a really kind of a sharp angle, I suppose. So, I don't know, maybe I didn't reset my setting right or something. There we go. I'm like, we should be close. And we are. But yeah, this is a very low-paying job, but we're also just moving pallets at the end of the day, so... Alright, and yeah, mid-level maneuvering bonus. But yeah, as far as upgrading the truck, like, you really need to be at level 30, and we are not there, so... Alright, but about 110,000 of profit in 7 days, not a bad deal. Hope you've enjoyed things. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please consider that, and I will see you next time.